Did you know the average American spends over $7,000 a year on groceries? That's a lot of cash rolling down the aisles. What's up, everyone? I bet you're throwing away hundreds of dollars every single month at the grocery store, and you don't even realize it. Every time you walk down those aisles, there are dozens of traps designed to take your hard-earned cash for things that are practically worthless. These aren't some exotic, weird items. These are things that are probably in your cart right now. We're talking about massive money pits that people fall for every single day, and it's costing them a fortune over the long run. Today, we are going on a mission to expose the absolute worst grocery items you can buy. Pay close attention, because I want you to see how many of these you're guilty of buying. Are you ready to save some serious cash? Let's go. All right, kicking off our list at number 12 is a grocery store classic that looks convenient but is secretly draining your wallet. Every time you walk into the produce section, you see those neat little containers of sliced fruit and veggies, ready to eat but at a shocking price. For example, a whole watermelon might cost $5, but a small tub of pre-cut watermelon can run you $12 or more per pound. That's more than double. And it's not just watermelon. Pre-sliced apples, carrots, even broccoli florets can cost 2 to 3 times more than their whole counterparts. But here's the kicker. The moment produce is cut, it starts losing nutrients and freshness. Pre-cut fruits and veggies spoil faster, and they're more likely to get mushy or bland before you even open the package. There's also a food safety risk. Pre-cut produce has a shorter shelf life and is more prone to contamination because it's handled more and exposed to air. Want to save money and eat fresher? Buy whole produce and prep it at home. It only takes a minute to slice a pineapple or chop some carrots, and you keep more cash in your pocket. Here's a tip. Store cut fruits in airtight containers in the fridge, and use a splash of lemon juice to keep them fresh and bright. So next time you're tempted by those shiny, overpriced tubs, remember, you're paying extra for less nutrition, less freshness, and more risk. Walk right past and grab the whole produce instead. Coming in at number 11 is one of the most unbelievable money wasters on the planet, bottled water. Americans buy over 50 billion bottles of water every year, enough to circle the globe more than 250 times. People spend thousands over their lifetime on something that literally falls from the sky and comes out of a tap for practically free. In fact, the average American spends over $100 a year just on bottled water. Bottled water can cost up to 2,000 times more than tap water. And here's a quick tip. Using a simple home filter gives you clean, great-tasting water for just pennies a day. But here's the real kicker. Nearly 70% of plastic water bottles end up in landfills or as litter, not recycled. That's over 30 million bottles a day in the U.S. alone, contributing to a massive plastic waste crisis. You're not just paying for water, you're paying for the plastic bottle, the label, the shipping, and the marketing. And all that plastic. It takes hundreds of years to break down. Some people believe bottled water is safer or healthier than tap, but that's often just clever marketing. In most U.S. cities, tap water is strictly regulated and tested more frequently than bottled water. In blind taste tests, most people can't even tell the difference. Of course, there are exceptions. Some regions have older pipes or water quality issues. If you're concerned, check your local water report or use a home filter. It's still way cheaper and greener than buying bottles. Just compare the price tags. Bottled water versus tap water. The difference is staggering. 2,000 to 4,000% markup. Ridiculous. Think about the environmental cost. Every minute, over 1 million plastic bottles are bought around the world, and most are used just once. There are much better and cheaper alternatives right at your fingertips. First, tap water. Second, invest in a good reusable bottle, stainless steel or BPA-free plastic. If you want cold, filtered water on the go, fill up before you leave home. Many public places now offer free refill stations. It's a simple swap that saves you hundreds and helps the environment. Bottom line, bottled water is a marketing miracle, but a financial and environmental disaster. Buy one good insulated bottle, use a home filter, and take clean water everywhere. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. All right, for number 10, let's talk about a breakfast staple that's costing you way more than you think. Name brand cereal. We're heading down the breakfast aisle to bust one of the biggest grocery store myths. Name brand cereals are everywhere. Bright boxes, cartoon mascots, and prime shelf placement designed to grab your attention. Decades of commercials and clever marketing have convinced us these famous brands are better. But here's the secret. The store brand cereal right next to them is often nearly identical, sometimes even made in the same factory. Let's talk price. A box of name brand cereal might cost $4.50, while the store brand version is just $2. Some organic or specialty brands can be $6 or more. For a family eating cereal every morning, that adds up fast. And here's the kicker. If you compare the nutrition labels, you'll often find the ingredients and sugar content are almost the same. Sometimes the store brand is even healthier. Always check the label for added sugars, artificial colors, and fiber content. Don't believe me? Try a blind taste test at home. Most people can't tell the difference between the big brands and the generics, except for the price. Here's a tip. Look for cereals with whole grains as the first ingredient, less than 8 grams of sugar per serving, and at least 3 grams of fiber. Store brands often meet these criteria for half the price, so next time you're stocking up on breakfast, skip the cartoon characters and flashy logos. Read the labels, compare prices, and watch your grocery bill shrink without sacrificing taste or nutrition. Number 9 on our list is a sneaky grocery trap that preys on our need for convenience. Single-serve snack packs. You see them everywhere. Chips, cookies, nuts, cheese, crackers, even fruit slices, all perfectly portioned and ready to toss in a lunchbox or briefcase. These products are marketed especially hard to parents packing school lunches and busy professionals who want grab-and-go options. The packaging is bright, the mascots are friendly, and the convenience is tempting. But let's talk about the price. A family-size bag of chips might cost 20 cents per ounce, but a box of single-serve chip bags can be over $1 per ounce. The same goes for cookies, nuts, and cheese sticks. Sometimes you're paying 3 to 5 times more just for the packaging. And it's not just your wallet that takes a hit. All those tiny bags, wrappers, and plastic trays add up to a mountain of extra waste, most of which ends up in landfills. Here's a smarter move. Buy the large, bulk-sized version of your favorite snacks. Spend just a couple of minutes at the start of the week portioning them into reusable containers or bags. You'll save a ton of money, reduce plastic waste, and still get the same grab-and-go convenience. Plus, you can customize your portions and mix up your snacks however you like. So next time you're tempted by those tiny, overpriced snack bags, remember, a little prep goes a long way for your budget and the planet. Coming in at number 8 is a so-called health food that's actually a sugar bomb in disguise, flavored yogurt cups. They look healthy, but don't be fooled. Flip that cup around and check the nutrition label. Many flavored yogurts pack 15 to 20 grams of sugar per serving. That's as much as 5 sugar cubes, and sometimes even more than a candy bar. And it's not just sugar. These cups are loaded with artificial flavors, colors, and thickeners to make them taste like dessert. Words like fruit, natural, and wholesome are splashed across the packaging, but don't let the strawberries on the label fool you. Here's the truth. Plain yogurt, whether regular or Greek, has almost no added sugar, no fake flavors, and is packed with protein and probiotics. It's a blank canvas for healthy toppings. Want it sweet? Add your own fresh fruit, frozen berries, a drizzle of honey, or a sprinkle of nuts and granola. You control the sugar and the flavor. Plus, it's way cheaper per serving. Here's a pro tip. Buy a large tub of plain yogurt and portion it out for the week. You'll save money, cut out the hidden sugar, and get a snack that's actually good for you. Over time, swapping out sugary yogurt cups for homemade versions can save you hundreds of dollars a year, and your body will thank you for skipping the sugar rush and crash. Alright, at number 7, let's talk about the ultimate lunchtime ripoff. The king of overpriced convenience. Pre-made sandwiches and salads from the deli counter. These grab-and-go meals might look tempting, but are they really worth it? Pre-made sandwiches can cost $6, $7, or even more for a single serving. And those salads? Sometimes $8 or $9 for a plastic bowl of lettuce, a few toppings, and a packet of dressing. What are you really getting for that price? Usually it's a couple slices of bread, a thin layer of meat, a slice of cheese, and maybe a sad piece of lettuce or tomato. The salads often use the cheapest greens, minimal protein, and are loaded with high-calorie dressings. And don't forget about freshness. These meals are made in bulk, wrapped in plastic, and can sit for hours or even days. That means soggy bread, wilted greens, and a loss of flavor and nutrients. For the price of just 2 pre-made sandwiches, you could buy a whole loaf of bread, a pound of deli meat, cheese, and fresh veggies, and make lunches for the entire week. That's less than $2 per serving, and you control the quality and portions. Here's a tip. Set up a simple assembly line at home. Lay out your bread, meats, cheese, and veggies, and prep a week's worth of sandwiches or salads in under 30 minutes. Store them in airtight containers in the fridge, and you'll have fresh, tasty lunches ready to grab every day. Not only do you save money, but you get fresher, healthier meals with better ingredients and fewer hidden calories. Plus, you can customize every lunch to your taste. So next time you're tempted by the deli counter, remember, a little prep goes a long way. Invest a tiny bit of time, and you'll save a huge amount of money without sacrificing taste or convenience. Number 6 on our list is a grocery aisle classic, microwavable rice and pasta. You know the ones, those brightly colored pouches and tiny plastic tubs that promise a hot meal in 90 seconds. Brands like Ready Rice, Minute Rice, and Easy Mac are everywhere, tempting you with convenience. But here's the catch. A single pouch of microwavable rice can cost $2 or $3 for just 1 or 2 servings. Compare that to a giant 2-pound bag of dry rice or pasta for the same price, which makes enough for 20 or 30 meals. Sure, microwavable options are fast, but cooking rice or pasta from scratch only takes about 15 minutes, and most of that time, you're just letting it simmer while you do something else. Plus, you get way more food for your money. And let's talk taste and texture. Microwavable rice and pasta are often gummy, mushy, or bland. Homemade versions are fluffier, tastier, and you can season them however you like. Plus, every pouch or cup you buy means more single-use plastic and packaging waste. All those wrappers add up in the landfill, and you're paying extra for the privilege. Here's a money-saving tip. Batch cook a big pot of rice or pasta on Sunday. Portion it into containers, and you'll have quick, healthy meals all week. No overpriced pouches needed. Try this. Cook a big pot of rice, toss in some frozen veggies, a splash of soy sauce, and a scrambled egg. Boom! Homemade fried rice for a fraction of the cost, or make a simple pasta salad with olive oil, veggies, and cheese. Easy, delicious, and way cheaper than anything in a pouch. Coming in hot at number 5, energy drinks. Americans chug over 3.5 billion cans of these every year, and the market is worth more than $14 billion. But are you just paying for a flashy can and a quick buzz? These are one of the most expensive and risky ways to get a caffeine fix. The average can cost $2 to $4, but the real price might be your health. Most energy drinks pack 150 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per can, sometimes more than 3 cups of coffee. That much caffeine can cause jitters, anxiety, heart palpitations, and even dangerous spikes in blood pressure. And the sugar? Some cans have up to 60 grams. That's 15 teaspoons. That's more than a can of soda, and way more than you need in a day. But it's not just caffeine and sugar. Energy drinks are loaded with additives, like taurine, guarana, and B vitamins. The long-term effects of these combos aren't fully known, especially for teens and young adults. Energy drink companies spend millions marketing to young people, using extreme sports, video games, and celebrities to make these drinks look cool and harmless. But emergency room visits linked to energy drinks have doubled in the last decade. Before you buy, check the label. Look for caffeine content, sugar, and serving size. Some cans are actually 2 servings, so you might be getting double the dose you think. If you want a real energy boost, skip the can. Brew a cup of black coffee or green tea. Both have less sugar, fewer additives, and cost just pennies per serving. For lasting energy, eat a balanced meal, stay hydrated, and get enough sleep. That's the real secret to powering through your day. No expensive cans required. Ditch the can, save your money, and treat your body better. Your wallet and your heart will thank you. At number 4, we're heading straight into the frozen food aisle to talk about a classic grocery trap. The frozen dinner. You know the ones. Bright boxes from brands like Stouffer's, Lean Cuisine, and Hungry Man, promising a hot meal in minutes. These colorful boxes promise a complete balanced meal. Lasagna, turkey and gravy, chicken Alfredo, all for just a few bucks and a few minutes in the microwave. It sounds like a dream for busy nights, right? But here's the catch. Many frozen dinners contain over half your daily sodium in a single tray, sometimes more than 1,000 milligrams. That's a salty shortcut to high blood pressure. And don't forget the preservatives. Ingredients like sodium phosphate, potassium sorbate, and artificial flavors keep these meals shelf-stable for months. The veggies are often mushy, the protein rubbery, and the nutrition not great. For $4 to $6, you're mostly paying for salt, fillers, and convenience. Here's the real comparison. For the price of 2 frozen dinners, you could buy fresh chicken, rice, and vegetables to make a healthy meal for your whole family. Homemade meals have less sodium, more real nutrition, and taste way better. I get it, convenience is tempting. But with a little meal prep, you can have healthy, ready-to-eat dinners all week. Try batch cooking on Sunday. Roast a tray of veggies, grill some chicken, and portion out meals in containers. You'll save money, eat better, and skip the sodium overload. So next time you're tempted by the frozen dinner aisle, remember, a little planning goes a long way. Leave those salty boxes behind and treat yourself to real food. Your wallet and your body will thank you. Number 3 on our list is a sneaky grocery trap: prepackaged deli meats. You know those plastic tubs and vacuum-sealed packs stacked in the refrigerated section? They look convenient, but they're loaded with more than just meat. These products are packed with preservatives like sodium nitrite, artificial flavors, and extra salt to keep them looking fresh for weeks. In fact, a single serving can contain nearly half your daily sodium limit. Yikes! All those additives and excess sodium can raise your risk of high blood pressure and heart disease. Plus, prepackaged deli meats often cost 30% more per pound than freshly sliced options from the counter. The marketing on these packages is clever. Words like natural, smoked, or oven-roasted make them sound premium, but don't be fooled. The real difference is in the ingredients and freshness. When you buy freshly sliced deli meat, you get better texture, richer flavor, and fewer additives. Ask the deli staff to slice it thin or thick, just how you like it. Here's a tip. Store your fresh deli meat in an airtight container and use it within a few days. If you need it to last longer, freeze individual portions for easy grab-and-go sandwiches. Bottom line, skip the plastic tubs and go for freshly sliced meat at the counter. You'll save money, eat healthier, and enjoy way better flavor. Cracking the top 2 at number 2 is a daily habit draining wallets everywhere: refrigerated bottled coffee and cold brew. You know the ones: Starbucks, Dunkin', Stock, Califia Farms, and more, all lined up in the fridge aisle, promising a gourmet pick-me-up. A single bottle can easily cost $4 or $5. If you grab one every workday, that's over $1,200 a year just for coffee. And that's before you even look at what's inside. Most bottled coffees are loaded with sugar. Some have 30 to 50 grams per bottle and over 200 calories. That's more sugar than a candy bar, and nearly as many calories as a small meal. What are you really paying for? Milk, sugar, syrup, a fancy bottle, and a lot of marketing. The packaging alone adds to the price and to the landfill. Here's the secret. Making your own cold brew at home costs as little as 25 cents per serving. All you need is ground coffee, water, and a little patience. Want to get fancy? Add vanilla, cinnamon, or your favorite milk. You control the flavor and the sugar. Brew a strong pot of coffee, let it chill in the fridge, and pour over ice. Add milk, oat milk, or a splash of sweetener. Instant iced coffee for the week at a fraction of the cost and calories. Invest in a simple cold brew maker or a sturdy travel mug. Skip the pricey bottles, skip the sugar overload, and skip the waste. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. We've reached number 1, the tiniest, most expensive dust in the world: spices in those little glass jars. Ever noticed how a tiny jar of saffron, vanilla beans, or even basic cinnamon can cost more per ounce than steak or even silver? Walk down the spice aisle and you'll see rows of tiny jars, each with a price tag that can make your eyes water. A small jar of cardamom or nutmeg can run $8 to $12, while the actual spice inside is worth just pennies. Here's the kicker. Those little jars often have a markup of 500% or more compared to buying spices in bulk. For example, a jar of cumin might cost $5 for 1 ounce, but you can get a whole bag in the bulk section for under $1. And it's not just about price. Bulk spices are often fresher, more aromatic, and you can buy exactly the amount you need. Prepackaged jars might sit on shelves for months, losing flavor and potency. For even better deals, check out your local ethnic markets or international grocery stores. You'll find big bags of spices, like turmeric, chili powder, or coriander, for a fraction of the supermarket price. Don't forget online options. Buying spices in bulk from reputable online retailers can save you even more, and you can read reviews to check freshness and quality. Here's a quick tip. Store your spices in airtight containers, away from heat and light, to keep them fresh for months. Label them with the purchase date, so you know when it's time to refresh. Fun fact: spices have been prized for centuries, once traded for gold, and even used as currency. Today, you don't have to pay a king's ransom, just shop smart. So next time you're in the store, skip the overpriced jars. Head to the bulk bins, visit an ethnic market, or shop online. Your food will taste better, your wallet will be happier, and you'll never get ripped off by the spice aisle again. And that's the list. Pre-cut produce, bottled water, name-brand cereal, single-serve snacks, flavored yogurt, pre-made lunches, microwavable pouches, energy drinks, frozen dinners, pre-packaged deli meat, bottled coffee, and tiny spice jars. All big drains on your wallet. Make a few small swaps and you can save hundreds, even thousands a year. If you liked this video, drop a like, subscribe for more smart shopping tips, and tell us which item surprised you most. Remember, buy bulk, skip branded gimmicks, cook simple staples, and visit local markets. Your wallet will thank you. Thanks for watching. Go save some money and become a smarter shopper. See you next time.